Hi everyone, welcome back again. This is from Busy Buzzy Bots. I'm here with Sahiti. By the way, I'm host Suresh. Hi
Hi.
Sahiti,
Hi.
how have you been doing?
I'm great. How are you?
Pretty good, pretty good. Hey, you know what? We heard a lot about your launch of the new app that you have, and I would like to hear more about it now.
Yes. Thank you for having me here. My app is called Cosmic ASMR. We've recently launched it on the App Store and the Play Store. So my app is to help people with stress and anxiety through six little mini games that have soothing vibrations, calming sounds, and relaxing activities. So through these mini games, it helps people sort of relax their mind and let
Wow.
go of stress and anxiety.
Yeah, that's very nice. So you actually released it on both Apple and Google stores?
Yes, there's a coding platform called Thunkable. It uses drag and drop. So through Thunkable, I coded the app Cosmic ASMR and I uploaded it on both the App Store and the Google Play Store.
That's very nice. So can you talk a little bit more about why this app is super important at this point of time, and then why you thought this is the right time to release the app?
Sure. So as we know, there's been this whole pandemic across the world, COVID-19. So we've had to distance ourselves from friends and family and really just isolate ourselves. And this has made a really big psychological impact on many people because just having to stay so far away from the people you care about isn't easy. And it brought like a lot of stress and anxiety to lots of people. So my app, Cosmic ASMR, helps people deal with this sort of stress and anxiety and really just helps you calm down in these troubling times.
Wow, that's very noble. Thank you for that. So at this point of time, when you talk about the cosmic ASMR, can you talk a little bit more about what ASMR means, and then how are people affected by it?
Yeah. So ASMR stands for Autonomous Sensory Meridian Response. Basically, what it means is it's a tingling sensation that starts at the scalp and it sort of goes down through your entire body. Um, so when it comes to like technology and stuff, ASMR is usually shown through haptics, the technology of haptics. So in my app, I use vibrations to give the users the best experience of ASMR. So in my little mini games, when users do things like touch sprites or move things around, they get to feel these vibrations that give them that tingling feeling that helps calm you down.
Wow, that's super fun. So, is there a way for us to actually see the app now?
Of course. So I will share my screen.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Um, um, okay. So this is the app Cosmic ASMR. As you can
Wow.
see, I have 6 mini games over here: bouncing bubbles, color balls, push buttons, wacky planets, bright drops, and magic crystals. Let's take a look at the first one. This is bouncing bubbles. As you can see, we have bubbles falling over here, and you can, bounce them around. And every time you touch a bubble, you feel vibrations.
Wow.
This is color balls, our next game. So you can touch each like bubble over here, and it gives you a vibration and this fun little popping sound, and it
Wow.
keeps changing colors. So it works for all of the bubbles here, and you can just keep going and changing colors.
Hey, it just makes me, the moment you are popping the bubbles, I really want to download the app and try it right away. I mean, especially the way it is, the sound of popping the bubbles over there and the balls, that is really fun.
Yeah. The next one is push buttons. So you can, push the buttons over here and like toggle them up and down. So we have vibrations every time you click on it. The next one is Wacky Planets. This is one of my favorites. So every time, so you can as you keep touching the planet, it'll start spinning faster and faster. And then as you let go, it'll eventually slow down and then stop.
Wow.
Yeah. And of course, you get vibrations every time you keep clicking on it. The next one we have,
the neon colors on the Wacky Planets is my favorite. It looks so nice.
Yeah, thank you. The next one we have is bright drops. So when you click on each droplet over here, you can see that the screen, the background color changes. So this has vibrations every time you click on a different teardrop. And then over here we have magic crystals, the last one. So these sort of just fall to the ground, and what you're supposed to do is you can just give it a click and you feel vibrations, and then you can see they start sort of just going around in a pattern and bouncing off of each other.
Wow.
So yeah, that is Cosmic ASMR.
That's very nice. You know what? While I was looking at it, I remember at some point of time last year or so, there are all these stress cubes that people were buying from Amazon, where you can keep on clicking. There are buttons and there are flip switches and all that. Now it really feels like this is a great virtual way of really doing the same thing.
Yeah, so there was also something called fidget spinners, those little things you just spin. Yeah, so Wacky Planets was inspired by fidget spinners, except it's not in the same shape. But as you keep clicking on it, it sort of gets faster. And then as you just let go, it'll slow down on its own.
Wow. You know what? I have one question, or rather a couple of questions on the games that you showed me. So my favorite is definitely the Wacky Planets. That seems to be like so much fun to really keep on clicking, and then the planets really uptake the speed, right? So from the coding point of view, how did you do it? And then can you talk a little bit about the behind the scenes?
Sure. So I use Thunkable to code my app. It's a drag and drop language. So basically what I did was so every time you click the planet sprite, so in Thunkable you have sprites and sprite types. A sprite is like an object or an image, and a sprite type is like that type of sprite. So it's like a group that holds all of these objects. So whenever the sprite type planet was clicked on, so I would change the angle of whichever planet that was, that component, by 1. I would increase the angle by 360 times. So it would keep spinning round and round.
Wow. So that's why initially when you touched it, it probably just spun one time, and then the more and more you click on it, it just went at a super high speed, right?
Yeah, it'll get faster and faster as you go.
Wow.
Because the angle will be increasing faster.
I see. The second question that I have is for the last app that you have where the balls were turning around and then going all around the screen. How did you really make that happen? Because there are two things that are happening, right? They are turning around and then they're also moving across the screen.
Right. So for that, I had to play around with the angular velocity of each of these sprites, and I had to play because this was something completely new for me. So this one was it had a lot of like new learnings in it. So I played around with the angular velocity And the way they bounced off of each other was I had some logic there that when it touches another sprite, it has to change its angular velocity to go the opposite direction. So
I
it
see.
feels like you're actually bouncing off of the other sprite.
Wow, that must be so much fun when you're actually doing it, right?
Yes.
So I'm sure, I think, especially with the coding, once you finally see the output or the result of what you did, I'm sure you must be so proud. But what are those sort of some of the frustrating moments or challenging moments that you've had when you were developing this app?
Of course, yeah. So I think one of the most challenging things for me was with color bubbles. So basically what happened with that was so when you first clicked on, like that option for the mini game and you entered, and so, you played around with it, you clicked on each one, the sound came, the vibrations came, and the colors changed. But when I clicked on home and I went back, the thing was that the sprites, they wouldn't hide, they wouldn't go away. So I would have my home screen and then I would have rows of bubbles just sitting on top of it. So this was quite a challenge for me. I had to, figure out where something was going wrong, why it wasn't hiding once I clicked on the home button. And another thing with the same mini game was that when you first clicked on that option, it was having trouble loading those sprites. So it would take time to actually show up. And it was like coming like one after another, which isn't what we wanted. So there were quite a lot of problems with that one, but we fixed them all in the end.
Awesome, perfect. So when such things happen where you are expecting something that doesn't happen, what is your philosophy of debugging things?
Yeah, so basically what I do is you have to go back and trace your steps. So figure out where it's going wrong. So for example, if something isn't happening that, like, when something should happen when you click on a sprite, but that's not happening, then you have to, like, go back, figure out what's happening, like what the code is um, when you're clicking on that sprite. And then, if you have any functions or variables, you want to go back to those variables, make sure that they're updating or, doing whatever they have to. If you have any functions, make sure that the code is correct, and just retrace your steps and, check like any branches that it has, anything related to the code, that, like anything that might have gone wrong.
That's very nice. Thank you. So this is really fun talking to you about the Cosmic ASMR app, and I wish you the best for your app launch. That's one. And second thing, hello viewers. Please make sure you subscribe to Busy Buzzy Bots, and the kids are doing a lot of fun projects, and you'll be able to get notifications on whenever there is something new and fun happens. Okay. Thank you very much, Saiti and the team of Busy Buzzy Bots. Have fun. Until next time.
Thank you.